Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you are fine. Our lecture today is about short story, its definition and elements. Well, first of all, we should define a short story. In the previous lecture, we defined a short story as a prose fiction, usually more compact and intense than the novel. It usually concentrates on a single character in a single situation at a single time. It is different from a novel because it is short. It has only one plot. It concentrates only on a single character, one hero, one protagonist, and single situation. Now I will move to a diagram for the elements of short story. Any short story, guys, actually should include the following. Theme. It is the main or major idea in the short story. As you notice now, I said major idea, not ideas, because here I have a short story, so it should concentrate on one single event, one single idea. So it is the main idea in the story. Character, we should have characters in any literary work. However, character can be divided into two types. Static character. What do I mean by static character? Static character should be a character who cannot be changed through the course of the story. So this kind of character should be at the same level from the beginning to the end of the story, which is different from the other type, which is dynamic. Dynamic means the character should be changed through the course of the story. An example of static character is the supported character. What do I mean by supported character? I mean, for example, the friend of the hero. If you notice in any work, literary or even in films or series or whatever, we have hero and heroine, and also we have their friends. Most of the time, the faithful friends will be static character. Okay? Why? Because they won't be changed through the course of, the story. From the very beginning to the very end, nothing will change in their character, in their characterization, in their personality, in their life, in their attitudes. They are there only to support the hero or the heroine. Any character, even if not the hero, that can be changed through the course of the story, he will be a dynamic character. For example, even the antagonist, it is not a hero, it is the one who will cause problems to the hero, called antagonist. The antagonist can be changed also. Sometimes he will be a dynamic character, not a static character. For example, at the beginning, he will be an evil person, but at the end, he will be a good person. Maybe he will be sorry for his deeds or something. Sometimes, not all the time. It depends on the story and the plot and, the author. Another important element is setting. we should have time and place for our story. For example, I will make my story in 1940. This is important. So my places should be like the places in this, period. My clothes for the characters should be like the clothes used or dressed at that time. Another important element is point of view. The point of view here is important because we have three important or two important point of views. First person, this means that I will write my story using the first person. That is to say, I, the pronoun I. I went to school, I graduated from college, I went to the market, or I will use third person. That is to say, I will use the pronouns she or he or it. She goes to the market, she went to school, she is a graduated student, whatever. This is important, and these two point of views can be used according to the author. The author is free to use either the first person point of view or the third person point of view. Actually, we have also second person point of view by using the pronoun you, but it is so rare. Okay, so rare. Also, we have tone. The tone could be sad, could be happy, could be angry, could be revolutionized, like this. Could be bitterness. Also, we have a style, the way of writing. I can write either by using simple words, simple sentences, or I can write with difficulty. Actually, guys, I added something important, which is a plot. It is not there in your, in your handout, but I added it. Actually, plot should be there in any literary work, in the novel, in the novella, in the short story, and in a drama. We should have a plot. Although I defined it at the end of this course in part 2 with the drama, however, I found it will be very useful to define it here too for you. It is so important to know what is a plot in any literary work like novel, novella, short story, or a drama. Here we have the definitions. What is a theme? It is the central dominating idea and the moral lesson or the implicit message in any literary work, as I have just said. Now I will make a rapid review for these definitions. What is a character? A person, or an animal, or a thing, or a natural force presented as a person appearing in a short story, novel, play, or narrative poem. Guys, our characters, like in cartoons, should not only be persons. I can use animals, even in movies, So in my work, in my short story, I can make the, hero an animal, like a dog or a cat or a lion or whatever. It depends on my story. And I will make them, speak and behave like humans. Here we have personification. I think you remembered what do I mean by personification. Personification, it is a device used in poetry in the first course, as you remembered. Also, we can use it in here in the short story, in any literary work, by making non-human human, like this, just like that. This is called personification. My hero could be a thing like a table, for example. I decided to make my story about furniture. I have a table, I have a couch, I have a TV, I have whatever, and I will make them talk or interact with each other like persons. Or natural force presented. Natural force, guys, as a person. The wind is talking. So these are some kinds of characters. However, another division of a character is this. We have two types or two kinds, static character and dynamic character. This kind does not change throughout the work, as I have just said. Dynamic character, this character undergoes some kind of change because of action and the plot. Another important element, which is characterization. Actually, a characterization is related to characters. Characterization refers to the methods a writer reveals the personality of a character. So it is a technique. It is the way that the author uses in order to introduce his character from the beginning till the end of the story. Setting, we have time and place, actually, refers to the location. Location could be a city like London, could be a home, and in dining room, for example, in kitchen, bathroom, whatever. We have historical period, as I have just said, like not now. I want to say something about the period 1940, for example. We have social surrounding. I should take care and make sure that my social surrounding is fit to the period that I will introduce in my work, in which the action of a text develops. The setting actually establishes the physical and cultural landscape of the world of the story. What is a point of view? Point of view, it is the way a story is told. The perspective is presented with the characters, actions, settings, and events which constitute the narrative in a work of fiction. We have actually two kinds, important kinds. Third person point of view, he or she. If I have animal, I will use it. The author himself presents the action, setting, and characters of the story. Okay? If I have first person point of view, one of the characters present the action, setting, and characters of the story. What do I mean by that? Look, in the third person point of view, I am the author. I am the one who will present anything in this story, the action, the setting, and characters, by using the pronouns referring to the characters in the story. He, she, or maybe it, if I have animal or a thing. However, with the first person point of view, also I have an author. It is me, the author, who will write. However, I will write according to the point of view of one of my characters. For example, my hero is a girl, and this girl will present her life in my story that I will write. So I will write by her voice, saying not she or he, saying I. It means the character in the story is the one who is presenting us with the action, setting, and other characters of the story. Is that clear here, the point of view? The third person, it means me, the author, will present the ideas. directly by saying or by using the pronouns he or she. However, in the first person point of view, me, the author, also the one who will write. However, I will present my ideas, okay, through the voice of one of my characters in this story by using the pronoun I. What is a tone? It is an author's attitude or point of view towards his subject. It means the devices used to create the atmosphere of literary work. Certain tones include not only irony and satire, but maybe loving, condescending, bitter, pitying, merciful, solemn, and a host of other emotions and attitudes. My tone sometimes will be humorous. This means that I will make fun on something or someone. What is a style? Now, a style means the manner of putting thoughts into words. I can either write by using simple words, simple sentences, or I can use complex wordings. So, means the manner of putting thoughts into words, or it is characteristic mode of construction and expression in writing and speaking. In the end, I added a plot. So what is a plot? Actually, it is so important element. A literary term refers to the arrangement of sequence of events in any literary work. There is beginning, development, a climax, and a conclusion. Actually, a plot is so important. The arrangement of my events, it will be plot. And it is divided into beginning, development, a climax, and a conclusion, like in this diagram. Plot should include exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. This is a regular plot. Actually, in novel and however, in shorter works, like one act play, for example, exposition means beginning of the story, where characters and setting are introduced. For example, to be, obvious, I will use a film. Guys, if you saw before, there is a movie, maybe, about crime. The first scene, the hero will encounter a crime and a criminal, and this criminal will escape. Okay, here with the music, with the situation, and then the names and the opening music will start. So the first scene, this scene before the names or the titles of the actor and actresses, production, or the opening music will be exposition. So it is an introduction or beginning of the literary work. Then I will move on to the rising action. This rising action is important because it will include the conflict. Actually, I will not have any literary work if I don't have a conflict. What do I mean by conflict? I mean the thing that includes also the theme conflict according to the short story. For example, the conflict here in my film will be what? Crime. It will be how to find the criminal. Okay, this is my conflict. I should find the criminal and should judge him. Okay, so where the main character faces a series of conflicts. My character in the film that I have just said, confronts a crime scene. He confronts a criminal, but this criminal escaped. So now he is a witness. The police can take him in order to give his testimony. And on one hand. On the other hand, the criminal will follow him, maybe to kill him, in order not to, you know, tell anything about him to the police, for example. Here we have a conflict. His life will be in danger, our protagonist. Climax. Here we have the most exciting part of the story when we learn the outcome. Here in the climax, guys, we will discover things that will lead to the end, to the resolution or the end of the story. I will have clues here. These clues will make us, the readers or the audience, imagine the end of the story. For example, here the police will know something about, the the criminal, like his identity, and he will start maybe to follow him. And here I, as an audience or a reader, will know that in the end, the criminal will be charged or will be escaped. We have maybe two guesses or two ideas for the end of the resolution. In all time, this means that the climax gave me some hints in order to imagine the end of the story. Following action, here events leading to the end of the story. Here we have messing up events. Actually, here we have the tracing part. We have police, we have a person who is a witness, we have we have the criminal. The criminal will do anything in order not to be caught, okay? So here we have messing up with events, with anything, but this messing up would absolutely lead to the end of the story. So the criminal will either escape, it happens sometimes, or will be caught and will be charged. Okay, that was the end of our lecture today. Next lecture, I will start with the snap, a short story, reading and comprehension. Thank you very much for your time and good luck.